Welcome back to another video, guys. It's JS. So glad to have you here. And we'll get straight into it. So, 5 habits that will change your life. The first habit is writing down your goals. Unless you write down your goals, you're just wishing for them to come true. And a lot of people want so much out of their lives, but they don't even write down their daily goals. They don't even write down a plan for the day. So, how are you going to measure your progress if you don't even write it down? You can't measure it. You need to be able to write it down and see a check mark next to whatever goal that you put down, whether that's on your phone, whether that's on a piece of paper. Now, I recommend getting yourself a notebook, something like this. So in a little notebook like this, it's easy to carry around. You can take it with you to uni, you can take it with you to school, and you can just, write down your goals. And you can look back at it and be like, okay, well, back in 2018, I was only getting 1 or 2 goals done during my day. And right now I'm getting half my goals done during the day. And it's a nice way to look back on how far you've come, because I've had this notebook since 2018 and I can see how my priorities had changed, my goals had changed, my ambitions had changed as well. And that's all reflected in my notebook here. So get something like this, but if you prefer to write it down in your phone, you can probably get TickTick. That's a nice note-taking app, or you can just write it down in your notes or something, whatever suits you. And don't be too hard on yourself if you don't achieve all the goals that you set out to do for the day. Because as long as you achieved one of those goals, that beats the heck out of 0. That's still something to celebrate. That's still something to be proud of. Because at least you were productive that day. And if there's something that you didn't finish that day, just do it tomorrow. Just more often than not, you can just do it tomorrow. So don't beat yourself up about it and just keep on moving forward. Okay, so habit number 2 is exercising every single day. Now, unless you're doing full body workouts each time you go into the gym or to failure, you should be doing something at least every single day. At least go for a walk, at least go for a bit of a jog. Try and keep yourself healthy each day, because humans, we're designed to be moving around. We're designed to be moving a lot. And it was only until 50 years ago that all of that changed, and we can just sit down on a seat all day. We can be sedentary all day. We can eat unhealthy food all day. And that's not good for us. That has led to a lot of problems, a lot of health issues for people living in the modern age, a lot of issues in terms of, obesity, being overweight, type 2 diabetes. Most of this is caused by insulin resistance, and there's a link between exercise or not getting enough exercise and being insulin resistant. So at the very least, you want to be exercising for at least 30 minutes each day. That could be a jog, that could be just some push-ups, that could be going for a walk. All those things are very helpful in keeping you healthy, because you want to add more years to your life. You don't want to die young because you don't want to die too soon because you weren't exercising enough. You weren't looking after your body. And the earlier you start doing these things, the better it is going to be for you. Now, each time you exercise, you also get endorphins. So in case you don't know what endorphins are, they are the feel-good hormone. They make you feel happy. They make you feel very confident. And anybody that's exercised or had a really hard workout can attest to this, and attest to the feeling of feeling so confident after a workout. So that is habit number 2. Now moving on to habit number 3 is reading every single day. Now reading is a very underrated habit. A lot of people brush it under the carpet. They don't really think it's that important. But personally, I think reading is highly important. I think that reading gives you a competitive edge over people that don't read. Why? Because books have the condensed version of so many people's lessons. They have the condensed version of their life experiences, of their mistakes. And you can skip all those mistakes and all that time that they took to make those mistakes, and you can gain that wisdom. You won't gain all of it because you can't learn everything from a book, from just the book, and you can take on that wisdom and apply it to your life without having to go through that entire process that person had to go through in order to get that wisdom. And you really want to be reading books by great people. Watch videos from them as well. Reading books and watching videos go hand in hand. They're both forms of information. As long as you're watching quality videos, as long as you're watching or reading great books, that's very good. And don't just mindlessly consume the content either. Don't just read just for the sake of finishing the book. Read to actually learn something. Read to take something down. Once you come across something that really piques your interest or is a very useful lesson, highlight it. Don't do that as a library book, but write it down somewhere. Maybe put it in your journal or something, and go back to it. Or reflect on it. you don't have to read a book in one sitting. You don't have to read one book at a time either. What I like to do is I like to read a bit of one book, really reflect on it, and maybe I can read another book as well, alongside it. So not at the same time, but like, you know what I mean. So you want to be taking notes in a journal or a notebook, and this is just so that you can look back on it and really reflect on those lessons. So ideally, you want to read a book more than once, because most of the time, reading a book more than once lets you digest information better. It lets you to, I guess, pick out things that you may not have seen the first time around that you read the book. So that definitely is something that I've experienced. When I read a book multiple times, I always learn something new. So that's habit number 3. Now, habit number 4 is creating a schedule. Now, I got this from Jordan Peterson ages ago, but you have to design the best day possible for yourself. You need to think about, well, what kind of ratio to work to play do I like? What kind of, like, realistically, you're not going to be able to work for 12 hours straight. You need to be a very special type of person to work for 12 hours straight. And yeah, so try and design the day so it's the best day for you. So if it's like, okay, well, maybe I'll study for 4 hours, and then the rest of the day I can spend doing whatever I like to do, whether that's going cycling, whether that's watching YouTube, whether that's playing games, whatever you really like. Okay, so the 5th and last habit that I'll be talking about today is journaling. I kind of touched on it in the reading section, but you want to journal because it helps you to slow down, it helps you to reflect about your life. And often we move around so quickly. We don't really take the time to sit down and reflect about where our life is going, what our relationships are like with other people, what we really want out of life, what we really want in the future, and what we really want for the people that we care about. And honestly, just sitting down and journaling has changed my life. Like, I've learned so much through introspection. I've learned so much about myself, about the people around me, about my interests, and I can't recommend journaling enough. Like, journaling will change your life. So start off journaling with a piece of paper, or start off journaling with, like, a little notebook. It doesn't have to be something fancy like a leatherback notebook. It can just be like an A5 notebook that you can carry around everywhere and just write something down. That's what I did personally. And now I just write my notes on Notion. But yeah. And yeah, those are the 5 habits that will really improve your life. I hope this has helped you out a lot. And let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.